Hi, welcome back to my channel, Fabulously Frugal and Fancy. I'm Brandy, and this is Fabulously Glam Christmas series. I hope you've enjoyed watching all these Christmas episodes with me. I've enjoyed doing them and reading and posting, answering your comments. I really appreciate all the comments, all the kindness that has come my way. I really appreciate that. Today we're going to be going through a DIY. I did do some Christmas lanterns. One lantern I made from scratch, and the other lanterns were lanterns that I just decorated for Christmas. We also are doing a poinsettia tree. So, however you say that word, I probably do not say the flower correctly. Excuse me if I don't. But a poinsettia tree, I enjoyed making this as well. So, let's make something fabulous. Alright, so this little piece I found as the top of my lantern. I got this as actually a tiny little lantern. I glued it together. And I got this at the thrift store for less than $1. I think it was like 79 cents. It is like porcelain. I spray painted it completely gold. And then I had these two little box pictures from Walmart. They were 97 cents. And I got a dowel rod and I cut it into 18-inch pieces. I got that at Walmart as well. They're not very expensive. I'm not sure the exact price of those. I just remove all the stickers because I don't want those on there. And I use E6000 and hot glue. And I'm just putting on some finger protectors here because I don't like to get burned. So I'm using a little bit of hot glue just to start it off, and then I go in with E6000 and fill in all the gaps and the holes, and I really like just lay on all the glue. I really like put it on there hot and heavy. Actually, I think this was 2 dowel rods, both of them cut in half. They were 18 inches. I needed a taller, skinny lantern to go on the very small shelf in our front entryway area. It's only about 4 inches deep, the shelf itself, so that's why I wanted to make a lantern. I had a few lanterns, but nothing that would fit on that little shelf in the entryway. Then I'm just loading on the glue in each of those holes. I let the glue dry, the hot glue dry, and then I add in a ton of E6000 to really secure it all. I'm trying to get the whole thing in the camera frame. Alright, and then I want to center that little lantern piece because I want it to be my lantern topper. And my E6000 is almost empty, so I'm really having to squeeze that tube to get it all out of there. But I just put on a lot of it. It is a pretty flat surface there, so I can get a lot of glue. I just really want it to stick. I don't want it to come off. And then I leave this to dry overnight, so the E6000 has a ton of time to set up. Alright, I'm just gonna try to show you the entire lantern here. Sorry, I kind of turned my camera. Here's the entire lantern. I took it outside, and I'm just gonna spray paint it with this gold spray paint. This gold spray paint here, it's the metallic gold, and I just spray paint the entire thing. And then I lost a little of my video footage here, but I did want to show you the bits and pieces here. This is the ornaments I want to hang from the inside of the top. I got this inspiration from Ramon at Home, and I appreciate his inspiration. I made this little swag out of 2 Walmart picks, and I just used the Dollar Tree garland ties to attach them. And I used some of the smaller picks from Walmart to go down inside. I added a red bow. The ribbon is from Dollar Tree. That gold poinsettia is from Dollar Tree. These ornaments are from Dollar Tree. And I just put them in the inside of it. I just used fishing wire to hang them and Scotch tape up in the top. And here's the finished product. Here it is sitting on that little shelf. I have a lot of gold and red out in the front hallway, and I really wanted this to match everything that's out there, so that's why I chose the colors. The gold matches that mirror above with the greenery and the red and gold. Here's other lanterns that I had. I just took some Dollar Tree picks, attached them to the top, and took some of the berry garland and wrapped it around on the inside. And this is how they turned out. You can take any lantern and turn it into a Christmas lantern by adding a pick to the top. I didn't glue anything. All I did was wire them to the top. And I had two of these little lanterns, and I put them on this little tiny fireplace at our back entryway, coming in from our garage into our living room area. And I really like how these turned out. They just cute, and when they're lit up at night, you can see the Christmas tree there in the background. Here's another larger one we have. I did hang some of the ornaments inside, put some picks down inside around that big candle. And I just took a couple of the Walmart picks, the larger ones, attached those to the top with wire. I did not, again, used those garland ties from Dollar Tree to attach them so that I was not making anything permanent. These are lanterns that are used all year round, and I just made them into Christmas lanterns by adding a couple of picks, adding some ornaments in the top right above that candle, and that is a battery operated candle, by the way. All right, on to our poinsettia tree. Now this tree was $5. It is a 4-foot tall Christmas tree. I got this at Five Below, and it's 4 foot tall, so it has its own little stand on the bottom. I set it on a plant stand in the end, but I want to make a poinsettia tree for the front entryway area. So I'm just fluffing all of it, spreading out all of those branches and fluffing it. And I have, from years past, a lot of poinsettias because I made a lot of floral arrangements, wreaths, so forth, and I always take those apart at the end of every year because I don't do the exact same decorating every year. So I took all of those apart and had a lot of the florals left, and I just decided to make a poinsettia tree for the front entryway. I really like how this turned out in the end, so again, just fluffing all of this out. It had a lot more branches, and just, I'm not really caring about the back side. It is going into like a little corner area there. And it's sitting on my table, so it's a little, stretched to reach all the way up to the top, but that's okay. And I'll take this minute just to remind you, if you have not subscribed, those are all my leftover poinsettias. Like I told you, I have a whole bin full, and some of these red berry picks that came from Dollar Tree, Walmart. I'm just taking individual florals and attaching them to the branches. I'm just twisting them around. I don't have to wire anything else. I was thinking of doing the whole bunch at once and decided that I would cut them apart. But if you have not already subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate you subscribing. Please leave me a comment in the comments below. Let me know what you think of this poinsettia tree. Is it something you've ever seen before? Is it something you would like to do? Something, just a big tree of flowers that looks like a large poinsettia, tree in the end. And I just thought it was really pretty. I really liked how it turns out in the end. I just leave the stems long because I am pushing them all the way in. And I am also twisting them around some of the branches the floral wire in the stem itself, I just twisted around one of the branches, and I'm just going all over just like you would with ornaments. I don't want to leave any big blank spots. I have other red florals as well, and some of those are kind of a fall flower, but I stick those kind of in the middle as fillers, like back inside, because there's some, these trees are not the fullest trees. It was only $5, so I did not expect it to be as full as it actually was. I was expecting a little bit more Dollar Tree-ish, but this was a lot fuller than the Dollar Tree ones, but not quite as full as I would have liked. So there are some blank spots inside. So I just take some of those red flowers and push them all the way inside to kind of fill in the holes. But again, I'm just filling in spaces. I'm using different poinsettias. Some have the gold inside, some have the little gold glitter on them. I do want gold because I'm adding some gold picks later on to it, so the gold is perfectly fine. But none of the poinsettias, they all came from different bunches, mostly from Dollar Tree through the years, some from Walmart. I'm just kind of turning the tree because I don't want to leave. The back area is okay, but I don't want the two sides. There's just one little area I'm not really too worried about if it doesn't have as much, because it's going in a little corner area. I myself have really enjoyed watching other creators and how they are decorating for Christmas. I get inspiration in all different kinds of places. I hope you do as well. I love glitter and I love glam, but I get a lot of inspiration from creators who do the rustic as well. Because you can get ideas anywhere. You don't have to go looking just for exactly what you're going to make. Maybe you don't like poinsettias. Maybe you like roses. This would be beautiful with some roses as well. Red roses are beautiful for Christmas. I used some red roses in a centerpiece that I made for an outdoor arrangement. I used poinsettias and roses together for that one. The red really looks beautiful. I love poinsettias. I think they are beautiful. And I had this huge bin of poinsettias. I really wanted to use as many as possible of what I had. I didn't want to buy any new. And then I go in with the red berry picks. Some of these are like a little white on them. Some of them have a little snow flocking look to them. I don't really distinguish. I love the pops of red. Again, this is a big spot of red and I like that. I wanted the different variety of flowers, the different variety of picks, just a little bit more natural. And I just kind of push those in and then wrap the stems around the branches. Some of them I want to stick out a little, some of them I want to go further inside. Just the variety, just some in, some out. I'm not looking for it to look perfect. I'm looking for it to look a little bit more natural, like it was actually grown outside. And I know poinsettias don't necessarily grow on a tree. They grow on bushes. But when you're creating, you can kind of play with that just a little bit. But I really liked the variety in this. It just made it look more natural to me. And then I also add in the glam. Once I get it in place, I add in some of the glam with the gold. And I do not show it, but I also add in some lights to this little tree just so it glows in the front entryway at night. It looks very beautiful. And again, some of those holes inside, I'm taking some of the flowers just so that you can't see like light through there. I'm just taking some of those flowers and shoving them in to the inside of the tree branches where you might have like a little bit of a dead area. Now these $5 Christmas trees from Five Below, work beautifully. I was pleasantly surprised with these. I really was, for $5. And if you have a small spot and you want a little Christmas tree somewhere, I believe these are the perfect ones for that. Just, I don't know if they still have them. I got mine a few weeks ago. But if you need a small tree, these are a great little tree to pick up. And I'm just going through and adding as many poinsettias as possible. Making it very full. Alright, here it is in my front entryway. Hung a few signs above it. And I used a green table runner from Dollar Tree, that plant stand I already had. And here's the lantern over here on this side, so it all matches. It's all cohesive with the gold and the red. And these match the banister, the swags that go on the chair, the stair banisters, stair spindles, whatever you want to call them, that my mother-in-law's had for several years. So those are the color choices that I picked from. And here it is with the gold pieces in it. I did add the gold blingy things. I got those picks from Walmart, the little gold balls. I've used those in several crafts already. Really love those. They're just the sparkle, and when the light hits them, they just really reflect the light very well. I love how these turned out. Let me know what you think. So what did you think of those DIYs? I really enjoyed making these. The Christmas lanterns, some of the lanterns I already had, and I just decorated those with some different picks from Walmart and Dollar Tree, and different decorations, ribbons, and so forth. The other lantern I made complete from scratch, and I really enjoyed making it. So if you like this kind of video, anything frugal, I don't just do DIYs. I do DIYs, I do frugal tips, tricks, hacks, some fashion, how to get clothes for cheaper. Please subscribe to my channel. Like this video. Please leave me a comment. Let me know which lantern or which project was your favorite. And you have a blessed day. Bye.